On this week's episode of the ADCs of Wrestling, Daniel Bryan is back. What else is there to talk about?
I want to talk about my song.
I'm sure we'll do that too. Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah! Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know? It's gotta, yeah. ADC! Ooh, yeah, dig it! ADC! Let me take you something, ADC! He watches wrestling! This is awesome, Michael! Do you know your ADCs, the ADCs of wrestling?
Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling. I am your host, Andrew David Cox, Canada's greatest export ADC, the man of 1,004 voices, and so on and so forth. Joining me, as per usual, taking time out of his very, very busy schedule, is Matt the Mark, the leader of the ADC Yes movement, Matty.
Super busy. And yes.
Yes!
So,
You didn't object to it this week. Maybe it works for you now that Daniel Bryan's back.
How could we object to the yes movement right now?
If you don't like Daniel Bryan, just tune out right now because we're going to talk about him quite a bit.
For an hour.
Forever. We're 90s kids. You can probably tell. Sandlot was the best. Okay, so this week, we're obviously going to talk about Daniel Bryan. We're going to talk about the emerging Undertaker John Cena situation that just keeps happening. And
it's tense. I'm nervous. I don't know what's going to happen.
They're trolling us. And also, obviously, the ultimate deletion happened this week.
It sure did.
We're going to do a deep dive on that as well. And then we're going to hit up the rest of Raw. And then we're going to do a little thing we're going to call the rest of SmackDown as well.
Yeah.
We're going to make those kind of segments.
Sure.
You know, maybe we'll find a catchy name for it. Maybe we'll call it Picking Up the Smack. We'll think of something. We'll think of something. And then, of course, stick around until the end for just 2 tweets. Hey, yo. It's going to be the best.
Yeah, we got some good ones this week. I was looking at them. I don't know which ones you picked yet, but I'm excited.
I'll tell you one thing. I picked just 2 tweets. All right, off the top of the show, let's talk about the fact that I dropped a new parody video yesterday. The Undertaker is officially trolling.
It was really good, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, you like? I haven't even really talked to you about it.
No, not at all. You kind of sent me a brief clip. I want to say it was like a week ago or something.
Not even, man.
It was like a minute.
3 days ago.
It
was like 3 days ago.
Well, that's how busy I am.
I poured my entire past 48 hours into that thing.
I don't know. You didn't tell me you were dropping it. I kind of just saw it hit my YouTube subscription notification, and man, it was pretty good.
I dropped it like a leg drop on the apron. Let's fuck my back up. Let's do this.
It was so good. So just the in and out of like, I am going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My hip hurts. My hip's fine. Like it was.
One of my favorite parts is actually just not to push myself here, but at the very
let's
end,
talk more about you.
I really like at the very end the shot that I found of him with the crazy big evil face where it's like, I'm going to wrestle next year. Maybe. It just zooms into his face as he's about to choke slam the shit out of Eddie Guerrero.
But I got to ask, you got blocked though? Like what happened there?
Yeah, I had a little trouble with it on YouTube. YouTube is extremely fickle.
Yeah.
And I mean, all the power to them. They have the right to do this kind of stuff. But I guess WWE saw it and manually blocked it. So it wasn't viewable by people. It is copywritten material. Like it's their footage.
For sure.
Rollin is not my song, all that stuff. But usually if it's kind of in jest and fun, it's not a problem. I think maybe the fact that I put like in brackets F Roman Reigns and it literally just sounds like The Undertaker.
Maybe.
I'm going to take it as a compliment.
Yeah.
I feel like I posted it on Reddit and I'm going to avoid posting it on Reddit, I think, because I know WWE checks Squared Circle.
Yep.
So maybe one of their people saw it and was like, oh shit, people are really going to think this is The Undertaker.
But it is funny that it's gotten noticed high up the chain, really.
Yeah.
Like we know that some, like Braun and Hardy have seen your videos, and now we're probably getting confirmation that someone at least at head office, even if it's just a lowly intern, has seen it.
Yeah, maybe.
So
some intern Bill over there blowing my shit up.
Oh, Vince isn't going to like this. Better delete it.
Oh, people are going to think that's actually him. He says fuck Roman Reigns at the end.
He swore a lot in this one,
This is really, really offensive to a lot of people. So I toned it down. I made it more PG, and so far, it still lives.
Perfect.
It's alive.
Perfect.
So go to youtube.com/AndrewDavidCox. And if you want, share it, post it on Reddit. I don't care.
Yeah.
I do want people to check it out. I would love some more views on it. As it is right now, this morning, it's actually still under 1,000. So
It'll get there. Even just the song. I mean,
it pained me to delete it. I already had like 150 likes.
Yeah.
And
bunch of
comments
on
and
it,
stuff.
yeah.
But I also noticed that I trolled myself by spelling a bunch of stuff wrong in the titles. I was moving things around and I had to keep changing it for Twitter and YouTube and stuff. I make all these different versions of it and I'm really OCD. And then I discovered that it said Undertaker. So I trolled myself.
Well, maybe this will be the Undertaker.
It's literally just Undertaker. No U. It's missing a U.
Well, I mean, we're in a day and an age where we're just cutting letters out of words and we're cutting last names off of wrestlers, so whatever.
If you don't listen to the podcast, I'm just going to like kayfabe it and be like, oh yeah, that's just a troll. I just trolled you guys by spelling it Undertaker.
So now you're trolling.
Yeah, I'm just trolling everyone. Yeah, bish. He's by the way, Taker will probably show up on this week's show yet again. He tends to stop by occasionally.
It's WrestleMania season. Why wouldn't he?
I hear he doesn't like the video. We'll find out. Did you notice that? Well, I know you noticed. This is again kayfabing people, but you texted me like 3 hours after last week's podcast.
The timing was great.
They changed the Moolah name. It's done. It's changed. And I was like, oh no, did they do that before we? No, that it was after.
Yeah,
so.
it was an hour, 2 hours after it actually got posted.
We're changing the world, Matty.
Yeah. It was
we
pretty
did
good.
It.
Well, I mean, was it us or was it like Snickers?
It was probably literally everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, they got a lot of pressure, but then for their big money company to kind of come out and say like, nah, we're not supporting this.
Yep.
It changed real quick after that.
There were a couple people that were trained by her and were, promoted and stuff by her that came out of the woodwork that said that this is kind of bull and they were hoping that Snickers would, I don't know, get reprimanded for this. It was Patty Lee Leathers and somebody else. But
the whole thing is weird because when it first happened, there was a lot of people coming out against it. Like you need to change the name because of this, and this, which we talked about last week.
People get offended.
And now, it wasn't until after they changed it where now I think there's 2 women who have come out in support of her saying, well, no, this isn't whatever. I tend to believe like WWE itself doesn't need any sort of drama.
I just think that, unfortunately, when there are rumors so strong and such out there that you got to kind of stay away from it in this kind of climate.
Man. Yeah, 100%.
Sensitive times. I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Sensitive?
Yeah. Speaking of, controversy, there was literally zero evidence in the hype video released by John Bravo linking Roman Reigns to steroid allegations. And I'm pretty sure there was very little about anyone else that he had mentioned in it as well, especially Stone Cold Steve Austin with a Y. This misspelled Steve Austin twice in the video.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy was thinking. He came out with a bunch of excuses and
he's thinking he's in jail and he wants some more publicity.
Yeah, he complained that he was too rushed to get the video. It's like, well, it's been quite a while. So
when you're putting together a video of this magnitude, some spelling errors will be made. Ask ADC. He spelled Undertaker wrong in an Undertaker video.
Yeah,
literally misspelled the name of the character he was doing a video about.
I hope we can definitely put this crap to bed and it's never talked about again.
Yes, I never want to talk about misspelling the Undertaker again.
Okay, well, I feel like you know what I meant.
I think I'm trolling, Matty.
Trolling.
It's a thing. I'm just trolling you.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Roman Reigns gets cleared by one legal drama and then immediately on Raw. We'll touch on it, but I mean, come on.
Those damn U.S. Marshals just 3-on-1 getting murked by Roman Reigns.
I'll save it.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there. Calm down, young grasshopper. Calm down.
But final Hall of Fame inductee announced.
Yes, I almost skipped over this. Mark Henry. You know what? This guy, he belongs as much as anybody can genuinely belong in a fictitious Hall of Fame. Like that video package really... It hit me in the feels. I was like, God damn it, Mark.
It's
you
weird
beautiful bastard.
As great as he was, he's kind of an afterthought. You don't really remember him other than, the sexual chocolate stuff.
Yeah, the sexual chocolate stuff and then the Hall of Pain stuff that he did back in, I think it was like 2010.
I don't even really remember the Hall of Pain stuff because I that was kind of the time where I wasn't as paying attention, but
he had like a pretty decent run there where he was really kind of a big deal for a little while, and
which is great.
Yeah, it's not like a Hall of Fame induction by how crazy big of a star the guy was. It's more of like a voluminous body of work You know, it's the entirety of his career, the span of it. It's kind of the same reason that the guys like Big Show will go into the Hall of Fame
for sure.
and stuff like that.
Well,
Just they've been around for so long and such a part of the company. And you saw like the inspirational speaking he did, the way that he was still doing strongman competitions, all that stuff. I mean,
it's these guys. The nice thing about the WWE Hall of Fame is that these guys aren't going in just for what they did in the ring. Someone like Mark Henry's going in for who he is as a person, what he did in the ring, and what he did as, you know, an employee of the company. Just showing how great of a guy he really is.
Yeah, or in Jeff Jarrett's case, for nothing. That's enough out of you, slap nuts.
Well, I don't know. Was it for nothing?
Shut up, Slappy.
We got Ultimate Deletion finally.
Well, yeah, I mean, he made the company that Ultimate Deletion happened in, but he really had nothing to do with Ultimate Deletion.
Yeah.
Let's start with Daniel Bryan. Let's do this. Daniel Bryan, the guy that got beat down on SmackDown that was just cleared.
Oh.
Daniel Bryan. Yes! That guy. Guy?
That guy. Got it.
This is probably the most excited I've been for a return to the ring since HBK in 2002.
Yeah. I tweeted that out because that's exactly how I felt. This is definitely the biggest. Like, I never thought Shawn Michaels would come back.
No.
And he did.
Yeah.
And it was like the greatest thing ever. And I actually never thought Daniel Bryan would come back, at least in WWE. I know over the last year there was a lot of like, well, he's been cleared by literally everyone else, so once his contract's up, he can do whatever he wants.
He was trained by Michaels too, which is kind of a fun little side note.
So it's ecstatic. I mean, it was amazing. And we saw it at the end of SmackDown there. The guy hasn't lost a step.
Dude, let's start with the promo itself. And by the way, random aside, I just want to say, when HBK came back, I shit my pants.
Yeah.
Like, when I flash back to him standing on top of the ring post, just looking out of the crowd, just being like, I guess I'm fucking crazy. And then jumping off through the table on Triple H. I was marking out extremely hard because as a little kid, I was a big HBK guy, to the point that my friends who were Bret Hart fans really didn't appreciate my HBK fandom.
Fair. That's fair.
And I guess I just like dudes in the assless chaps with, mirror vests. What can I say?
Well, he was a sexy boy. So.
Yeah, a 10 and 11-year-old ADC was very confused by Shawn Michaels' good looks, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's amazing that he's back. I didn't think they would throw him into some serious crap immediately.
No.
I thought maybe save it for Mania.
Yeah.
But, man, was that last couple minutes of SmackDown was...
Whew.
He looked awesome. He took some ridiculous bumps.
Like... You want to talk about a guy finally getting physical. Like a month ago, I was talking about how it sucks that Daniel Bryan can never get payback against The Miz because he can't get physical. There's no end game to this feud. Last night on SmackDown, he got powerbombed on the ring apron. He got super kicked in the face.
Yep.
He took some potatoes from Sami Zayn on the head.
Sure.
Of all places.
Yep.
Everything
was to the head except for the powerbomb.
By the way, this is totally how I get in a brawl. Like when you and I disagree, I just throw you up against the wall, I run at you, and then I do flying drop kicks that look like I'm walking up your body, and then I do a backflip in my living room. But I mean, it happened last week.
How about the crowd pop, though? Not when they finally turned on him and attacked him. They was like, oh, God, he's getting attacked. I think even me sitting there was like, oh, my God, he's going to get beat up and whatever, and that's all we're going to see. The second he took Sammy down and started throwing punches...
He did a snap German suplex.
Man, I got up off the couch. I was there with the crowd,
I actually
man.
quite literally just got a chill as we were talking about it. I'm such a big wrestling geek.
It was so good.
That I got so excited watching SmackDown last night, and... Truth be told, I didn't have a chance to watch Raw until last night, so you're talking about the 5th hour of wrestling I've watched. It's like 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, God damn, there's no way I can get excited about anything else on the rest of the... Daniel Bryan! Oh my God! I freaked out.
I there's one thing I wish they did, kind of fantasy booking, but one thing I'll say just before that is... Do you think he went behind, like backstage after that was all said and done, and he was like, damn, that's the most exciting bump I've ever taken in my entire life?
I don't know.
Like how could after 2 years thinking you're never going to wrestle again and then you get powerbombed on the apron, how does that powerbomb actually not really actually feel good rather than painful.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So he's like, I missed you, pain.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels so good.
Yeah, he's laying on the ground in pain, but really inside he's just like,
Yeah, we just watched it again together, actually, and we kind of have the sneaking suspicion that Daniel's probably been doing some actual wrestling work at home, possibly.
He looked like he hadn't been off for 2 years.
No.
We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked pretty good. Yeah, just a crazy amount of physicality for your first day back. But I think this was kind of WWE's way of anti-trolling us by saying, like, look, he's back and he's legitimately going to wrestle. Like, he's going to get physical right now. And you're going to see that we're for real. And obviously, this tag match is happening at WrestleMania with Shane. It only
it's
makes
pretty
sense.
clear, yeah.
And man, it makes sense what I was saying last week too, that the only story it feels like they're really telling is that, you know, Daniel supports Kevin and Sammy.
Yep.
He sees himself in them, and finally they've gone too far. He has really no choice but to support his coworker, his boss, Shane, because they just took it a step, above what's really necessary and made it personal.
Yep.
And I think it's going to be, if this isn't one of your top 3 WrestleMania feuds now going into Mania, you're crazy, because
It's got to be the top.
my excitement level is so high that this is actually the top attraction to me.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan's return to the ring. I know you probably can't main event with it, but in my head, this is the thing that I want to see the most right now.
100%. I was actually thinking, like, even with the championship matches and so on, and they've done a good job with Reigns and Lesnar, and but I just, like, some of that stuff starting to lose its muster, whereas this is so fresh, and it's what everyone wanted to see, even just for a good guy like Daniel. Like, just for him to be doing what he loves again is just so exciting.
Yeah.
Fantasy booking time on my part, though.
Okay.
And a bit of the Mark side of me.
Okay.
I
sure
would
it'll
have
shine
loved.
through.
I would have loved, and I understand why it didn't go this way, but I would have loved that him being cleared stayed quiet.
Right.
And then Sammy and Kevin attacked him at the end of the show. That would have left people, like, in shambles. Even thinking about it, I'm just like, no, what? No, is he? Is he not? Is he not? And then maybe it comes out after, but I think, like, that would have hit home way more than, at least on the kayfabe side of it.
Yeah. I think that their arm was kind of twisted. I think that there's
It was going to leak, no matter what.
Well, that and the fact that maybe they put that out there, but I think they just thought that in this kind of day and age, you can't troll people with something like that when things like concussions are so serious.
True.
I don't think you can have a vicious attack happen and then be like, just
That's a
so
pretty
you
good
guys
point.
know, he was totally cleared.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we got you bastards.
Swerve.
Just fucking kidding. Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
He's fine, pal.
The Mark in me, though, like, I would have just,
Sure.
I would have been in shambles on my couch.
If it was 10 years ago, we would have never known Daniel Bryan was ever injured. He just would have been taken off TV for a while, and then, well, hell, he would have never retired.
Yeah.
He would have just kept wrestling.
Hold
really
on.
quickly, we should mention.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We should just mention we don't often get real promos,
Yeah, okay, yes, yeah.
and everything that happened at the end of the show was made 10 times better by seeing Daniel Bryan come out at the beginning of the show and talk about Bray and talk about getting cleared and just doing what only Daniel could do and delivering a very emotional speech with red eyes, tears, getting choked up. I mean,
I'm a
I got
grown ass
emotional.
man. I got teared up a little bit because I couldn't even imagine having, like, my entire life ripped apart like that.
Yeah.
Having essentially your dream just taken away from you and going 2 years, and then obviously having the support that he had from friends and family, and to get it all back. I can't even imagine. I definitely teared up. It was a very real moment at the beginning of SmackDown. I'm glad they did it. And it just made the end of the show even better.
Yeah. It's a story as old as time. It's something that literally everybody can identify with.
Absolutely.
I mean, who doesn't understand those emotions, right? Like, to lose it all and then be told that you can come back.
Yeah.
That kind of story of retribution. I mean, it works in any sport, any fiction, anything.
Even and that was very real, and that wasn't kayfabe. That was DB talking from the heart sort
You
of
got
thing.
Brie over.
Oh, absolutely.
Brie is over big time.
But even, like, at the end when he did his promo with Sammy and KO, he was so cool about it. Like, He was just, it felt very real. Like, guys, like, we go back, way back. Like, I don't want to have to do this. But, and even just the way he's like, I've been fired from this company twice, and I know we can come back. And
it doesn't mean you're gone for good.
Yeah.
It just means you're gone for now. You know what? I think we're so lucky that Daniel did decide to stay with WWE.
Thank God.
And work within their system and keep cutting promos and being out there week after week, because he doesn't really have this level of rust to deal with. At least not when it comes to promos. So you can pump the storyline up. He's already ingrained in their culture on SmackDown. He's a part of the show.
Yeah.
So it just works.
So good.
Let's have some fun now. We were serious. This is the ADCs of wrestling. We like to be idiots. Let's talk about the Ultimate Deletion.
Oh, man.
The Ultimate Deletion, Matty.
Man.
Oh, Broken Matt, I knew you'd come.
So good. It was...
This match itself was pretty much everything I wanted.
Yeah.
On the WWE. It felt...
It was a little copycat.
Well, I mean, copycat is fine.
Yeah.
But it felt a little WWE in the sense that they changed... They didn't really... It's hard to put this into words, which is not great for a guy that's hosting a podcast. But it's just...
You know what? Draw us a picture real quick.
Yeah, here, let me paint a picture.
Yeah.
We can all stare at it together because it says 1,000 words.
Sure.
But it just, like, it felt just like the TNA stuff. But then at the same time, it was almost like the camera quality was so good that it felt a little different.
It was a little overproduced. And that is
a little bit.
Like what you said right there is exactly how I felt last week about the Mickey Alexa thing, where it's just the camera quality was just like, I don't believe this.
There was a real sense of charm to when Matt Hardy was doing the TNA stuff.
Oh my God,
and
man.
it looked like it was shot on your iPhone.
Yes.
Like,
it looked like I don't know. It
was all shot on GoPros and stuff. It just, I don't know. It was so low rent, but that was part of the charm.
But everything else, like, it was everything we wanted.
It kept the tone. It kept the sense of humor. All the characters were back. What did you feel about these little preview segments, like these bumpers as they went to break?
I didn't really. Those I could have probably done without.
Yeah, they felt a little bit forced.
Yeah, felt a little forced, and it was like, okay, well, don't try to purposely make us laugh, unless, you know, there could be a lot of people out there that haven't seen the Ultimate Deletion and all that fun stuff, right? So this could have been a lead up of like, no, this is a bit of a joke, guys. Like, don't take this so seriously.
So that's totally what that was.
Yeah.
That was a necessary evil as an introduction to people, to characters. You saw him speaking to George Washington, the giraffe. You saw him, you know, talking to Skarsgård. I can't even say it without saying the accent. I can't say Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
I have to say Skarsgård.
Makes it a little easier.
They showed the Lake of Reincarnation. Like, that was literally a bumper going into break. Just, here's the Lake of Reincarnation. Yeah. We're going to break.
I really liked it. Even Vanguard 1 followed around and like attack. Like, everything about it was phenomenal. We saw pyro.
Oh, it wouldn't be a deletion without fireworks.
Yeah, it was so confusing. Bray didn't know what to do.
Brother Nero made an appearance, just kind of popped up out of nowhere, which is fine.
Which was cool because it was kind of like, you know, he's not really back, but he was.
It was almost like he was a vision.
Yeah, exactly.
In Bray's head, like just some crazy creature. I like Brother Nero's look too. That's really cool.
He's super cool. I feel like he's coming back shortly. I don't really know where they
dog
go.
running. There's Vanguard Dog 1. Yes.
I don't really know where they're going to go from here with this, but I almost don't care at this point because we're going to get a repackaged Bray, whatever it is. Is he even still Bray Wyatt? Does he go back to Husky Harris? Whatever the hell it is. Does he join the Broken Brilliance? I don't care. This was exactly what I hoped it was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, perhaps... Perfect. I don't know. Like, if Bray goes back to Husky Harris, do they get another guy that used to be in the Nexus to come and challenge the Broken Brothers at WrestleMania? I mean, that's obviously not going to happen.
No. And I don't think Bray is going to feud with Matt anymore. That's where I finally I fully feel like it's kind of the other way around.
Do you feel like the story is actually finished, or do you think that, you know, Bray has to come back in some sense?
He has to
attack
come back.
Matt again as Sister Abigail, that character that they were going to make him against Finn Balor. This Wyatt stuff and Hardy stuff is so crazy that maybe they could finally make that work, where he's literally like, I mean, the whole thing is about having a vessel for your soul, and it just, you know, living inside a different vessel. That could be what they do with Bray.
I'm personally over Bray versus Matt.
Oh, who wasn't?
I would rather, like, I don't care if he comes back as Sister Abigail. I don't care, because if he comes back and he's still against Matt, that means he's still the same freaking character. he needs to be completely repackaged. And I don't care if he wears the same damn clothes and calls himself Bray Wyatt. Do not call yourself a god anymore. Do not have promos where you're in a rocking chair with a swinging light. Do something else.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
Maybe this would be a really cool way to just kind of purge Bray of all these weird supernatural things, and he comes out as just a really crazy guy that you see at some rock and roll store at the mall.
Like maybe he's this works as an exorcism, and he's still Bray Wyatt, but he just doesn't have the demon or the god in him anymore.
I think my favorite part of the whole thing was at the beginning when they were just laughing, and then Matt is like, "Enough! This time for laughter is over." Yeah.
It was, oh man, even just like when he opens the gates and Vanguard 1 comes in and there's a hologram of Matt's head and he's got that stupid smile on his face.
Yeah, it was dumb. I loved it.
It was perfect. And
Chair of wheels, more of lawn. Chair of wheels, more of lawn. Yes.
Even just when he's on the lawnmower and he's like rolling up to him and it's like, are they just going to murder Bray Wyatt right here? And he's laughing. And oh, man, it was...
I was this close to firing out a tweet. If he actually hit him, I was going to be like, Matt Hardy just straight up murdered somebody. He did the crazy face he did in the final deletion when he like ruined Jeff Hardy's lawn artwork in my song, too, when I used it. And he's just like, that orgasmic look on his face as he rides the mower. There were some really funny parts. It was a little too serious, but one thing I really didn't appreciate was Michael Cole kind of crapping on the whole thing before they even went to it. I thought that was really unnecessary. I mean, it's like saying, oh, the upcoming presentation is garbage. React accordingly.
It probably took no time to produce, act in, or anything like that. So it's nice that the announcer was just like, this sucks. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't really appreciate that, honestly. I didn't get
seems super uncalled
what they were
for
doing with that. I know that they were trying to play off like Michael Cole as, the serious wrestling announcer guy and Corey Graves as the one who kind of gets it. He's young, he's hip. It's not for you, Cole. It's for us. I didn't really like it. I really did, though, enjoy the Land of Obsolete Men with them running around those gravestones. I thought that was really funny. And there were a lot of funny GIFs.
It turned out to be everything that we kind of hoped it would be. It was hilarious. There were some really funny parts. There were serious parts. Like I do like that at least there was a little bit of wrestling in it. But, I mean, it made me laugh, and it was something different, and it was nice, and it wasn't as serious like when New Day went to Bray's compound and all that fun stuff. Yeah. So
nobody
really
wanted that,
it.
and we were all really afraid that it was going to be like that again.
Yeah. So happy it didn't turn out that way.
Okay, let's move along. Otherwise, we're going to be here forever today. Let's talk about the Lesnar attack on Roman Reigns. For the most part, I actually felt like Roman was kind of getting the right reaction. You know, aside from the requisite booing when he walked in, I think that people kind of wanted to see him, fuck shit up, for lack of a better sense of, words. Because he was there, he was suspended, he showed up, he was, basically Stone Cold adjacent.
Yeah. When he walked in, though, like there were definitely boos, but it wasn't as much as we're pretty well used to. So I feel like everything that they've been trying to do with this has worked.
Right.
I think there's a little bit of a turn there where I think people are just legitimately sick of Lesnar not showing up.
Yeah. I think it's so kind of smart what they're doing right now, really. I mean, Lesnar is the guy who's not dependable. Roman's coming out saying, I'm at least here.
Well, even Kurt coming out and being like, he's not here yet.
Yeah, I'm told he's running a little bit late.
Yeah.
By the way, how is Kurt just allowed to continue just working as the GM? Like, Steph and Triple H are just like, it's fine, just go out there, do your job, and then at WrestleMania,
we'll fight.
I'll kick your ass. Yeah. It's fine. I'm training.
That part's a little weird. It's also a little weird that, Rousey hasn't been around, so we haven't seen Steph and Triple H, so that story just kind of halted.
By the way, I heard that it was just a thing about like one hand not talking to the other about the story that Rousey was going to be on every Raw going home into Mania.
Totally forgot to talk about this last week. But
not the case.
Yeah, so apparently she had a physical, or she actually had like a booked appointment, and it was someone within like WWE headquarters that posted on the website, and everyone saw this one post within headquarters and was like, oh, well, it must be true. It's on the website. When really
she will be here every week. Send.
Yeah, apparently that
Run it.
Now, maybe they're just backtracking, but apparently it was never agreed to. They deleted it off.
Makes sense.
And we didn't see Rousey again, even though we know she was there at the end. But well, let's talk about Lesnar and Reigns.
Yeah. I love that Roman Reigns was somehow able to beat down 3 quote-unquote U.S. Marshals whilst handcuffed because wrestling.
While it was like before it happened, when they came out, I was like, he can't beat up cops. Like, you can't do this.
No. But, of course, U.S. Marshals were in the building in case Roman Reigns
they were ready
up.
for this. They were ready for
US
this
Marshals.
situation.
In case, like, some fugitives showed up and we had to chase them down.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
They could have easily done that spot without Roman laying a hand on the U.S. Marshals, and Lesnar came out and just attacked. That would have been way better than having this whole thing while, like, no, this guy should get like 20 years in prison. Like,
I mean, I didn't hate it because I just don't really, I don't know, I don't overthink it too much at this point, especially not with like a Roman Reigns storyline where it's just the guy that's going to get pushed to the moon, pal.
I don't know. To
U.S.
me,
Marshals are bitches.
To me, we know it's fake, it's scripted, but there's got to be some reality there, and you can't just beat up cops.
Yeah.
Like he would
No,
be in
there would
jail for a long
definitely be some
time.
serious repercussions. You can't just fire up and beat down some cops, huh?
There's video
I'm there
evidence.
for cops, huh?
It's not even like it's hearsay. We have video evidence.
Yeah. No,
So,
you
I don't
definitely beat them down in a very public setting.
That
on
being
TV.
said, the Lesnar attack was awesome.
I think it makes sense that they have Roman in a vulnerable position.
Yep.
He's got handcuffs on.
It's perfect.
Lesnar comes out, picks his spot. They try to make him kind of look like the bitch.
Yep. It was so good.
Who's
It
the
was
coward?
perfect.
He's afraid of Roman. You know, it works.
It was better than just having him come out and stand in the ring while Heyman shoots his mouth off. That's for sure.
So Lesnar does show up this week on Raw. I guess that not gonna show kind of thing is over. I guess the Vince involvement may be kind of finished unless he interjects and suspends Roman again and maybe plays up the fact that he might not be participating at WrestleMania. There's
there's only what 2 weeks left. 2 weeks.
They said 3 weeks. 3 weeks from WrestleMania on Raw. So I guess
that would have been
just
at the
under
beginning
2
of the
weeks
week,
now,
so-
or just over 2 weeks now.
So we've got 2 Raws left.
Yeah.
I don't think we see Brock. I think they keep him home.
Yeah, you probably don't have to. Maybe you just see Roman show up on the Go Home show and call out Brock Lesnar. Maybe we get a pull apart brawl on the Go Home show. Maybe they just tug the titles and try to tug each other off. Who's gonna tug the other one off? The title belt.
Yeah, no, I think at this point you got to leave Lesnar out until maybe the Go Home show. But I think they've told a great story up until this point. I just hope they don't ruin it by Lesnar coming out and Heyman giving the same old "he's the best" sort of speech. So.
Right.
By the way, this brawl is Strowman. I just want to say that attacking Roman Reigns while he's on a gurney is my gimmick, and you're stepping all over my shit. I didn't appreciate that at all.
While Braun, it's a little different. He did come out to the ring for the gurney attack, whereas you just tipped him off.
I don't care, Matt. The mark you're about to get these hands.
Oh, God.
By the way, stop stepping on ADC's extra at the end of the show. You got to know that it doesn't finish with you.
Well, he's storming off. He's very angry. That was a very quick run-in for Braun Strowman.
I pooped.
Yeah. That was scary. That was
terrifying.
really scary.
He's
I don't
a
know how to
terrifying
collect
man.
myself after that, but Maddie, you might not want to step on my extra again at the end of the show because apparently Braun Strowman doesn't like it.
I'll do my best.
Woo! That was crazy.
Well, since Strowman was here, should we talk about him
speaking
real quick?
of Braun, your ears are going to be burning, pal, because you got to find a tag partner, apparently. How do we feel about the Strowman promo segments where he comes out and talks?
I said it last week. I hate that he comes out and panders to the crowd.
Yeah.
That should not be his character. He got over because he was a monster who didn't care and was literally destroying everything.
Right.
Ambulances, semi-trucks, everything. So for him to
And
come out
Roman
and be
Reigns on
like,
gurneys.
is this what you guys want to see? And he's putting his hand, I hate it. I'm okay with him talking because he's actually not that bad.
I was going to say I actually don't mind them that much because Braun's proven that he's actually charismatic. You know, he's
Super
not one of these
likable.
big men who can't speak.
Yeah.
We've seen guys like this, kind of get over before, like, Big Show, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, he's shown that he's more than just some big monster who can crush stuff.
Yeah.
It was okay.
But he's likable without having to pander to the crowd.
I know.
That's what I mean. Because
I really feel like what we're going to have happen here is Braun Strowman is just going to beat both Cesaro and Sheamus. And they're going to be like, what's the point in giving him a partner? He might as well face them on his own at WrestleMania because he's going to dominate them both. And I am fine with it. I don't care what you think.
It's possible.
I like it.
You know my feelings on him taking them on themselves. We definitely know that he will probably face Sheamus one-on-one next week.
As soon as he and Cesaro are done sleeping together.
Yeah. Oh, man, that was so good. They played that up perfectly.
You have to travel together. You have to sleep together.
Yeah, it's so good. They even stopped. They waited for the crowd to be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, sorry. You have to train together. You have to travel together. You have to sleep together.
Yeah, no, that was good. But I think you're partly right. I think they give him a partner, and I think it's someone completely useless.
I don't know if they give him a partner, but obviously the time for speculation is nigh. So, should he need a partner, here's 3 I have prepared. This is my fantasy booking, okay?
Yep.
Partner the first. Big Show. He needs a partner. Big Show hasn't been around for a while. It's WrestleMania. He gets a payday. He needs a partner, and you just hear, well, and Big Show comes out, and these 2 massive men get the tag titles, and they run with them for like a month, and then they do something else.
What's your second option?
Second option, a little more outside the box, Elias. The exact same kind of thing that happened with Sheamus and Cesaro. They're not really friends. They get thrown into a match together or a tag team together, but they kind of win the titles, and then they have to try to coexist for a while, despite the fact that they just beat each other up, and then they form a family band. Okay, that's the backstory there.
All right.
Here's the third one, which I think would be the most fun.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho comes out. He hands Braun a scarf. Remember when Braun ripped up the scarf?
Yeah, that's right.
Back on Raw like last year?
Yep.
He's just like, I hate scarves.
Okay.
That would be fun.
I'll respond to your 3 options. I'll start with Chris Jericho because I don't know how the hell you work that in. The crowd would go absolutely insane.
2J.
Yeah. There it is right there. If the crowd would go nuts, it would work. Nobody would care. Everyone would love it, especially if they won the titles.
And then you get Jericho Braun out of it eventually.
Yeah, which sure, that's fine if assuming Jericho's even available. Idiot. But so that one would be fun. Severely unlikely.
Yeah, I don't think any of this is happening. Yeah. I think he's going alone.
Elias, I hate that story. That's fine. I don't really see how it gets there other than the way you put it. Sure, maybe that could work. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I've also been wrong many times.
These are just fun, man.
I will
just
say,
try to have fun.
I will say, no, for sure.
Ideas.
No, I am because I was waiting for the Big Show's music to hit while Braun was doing his promo. I was sitting there. I was just like, wait, like I was on the edge of like just bring him out because apparently he's like his surgery's over. He's working out. He looks good. There's rumors he's essentially done with the company, so this last little run could be perfect for him as a goodbye. That one makes the most sense to me if they're going to do it, and if that is the way they do it, they need to absolutely demolish the bar. Not have a long good match, like just crush them.
What I really think is going to happen, though, I honestly think it's going to be Braun versus both of them in a pretty good match with some fun spots. We get some good Superman spots from Cesaro. Maybe him picking up Braun Strowman, and then obviously one of them goes through a table with a power slam, and then he beats the other one, and then we move along.
Does he twirl Braun? Does Cesaro twirl Braun?
That would be great.
Oh man,
the Cesaro swing on Braun Strowman.
Woo. I hope that's not what it is, but you're probably right.
Okay. Speaking of people who are done their surgeries and are doing quite well,
okay,
I think it's time we visit with our dear friend The Undertaker because Kane came out on Raw to answer John Cena's challenge, not The Undertaker.
Yep.
And, last week it was Taker is egotistical. This week Cena's like, oh, you'll always belong, but also just do something. Say something.
Do something. Do something.
He called him a coward. Undertaker won't answer because he's trolling, as we know he likes to do. So let's bring him in here. Let's bring back The Undertaker.
All right.
Mr. Undertaker, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, I'm back.
It gets crazier every week. I don't understand why you have to do that every time.
It's just, it hurts to stand up.
Well, keep sitting down during the interviews.
I don't want to. The doctor says I have to stretch my hip. Oh, anyway, let's get this over with. I got stuff to do.
Okay. Well, do you still have, no answer for John Cena? How do you feel about him continually calling you out like this?
I mean, We know each other pretty well. I don't understand why he doesn't just shoot me a quick text message and ask me if I'll wrestle him at WrestleMania.
That's
that
a
makes
really
sense.
good point.
That's a good
That's
point.
a really good point. But why Kane, though? I mean, why weren't you there on Raw?
I had to send Kane out there.
Why's that?
His Candy Crush scores are getting really out of control. He's like the big red candy swapping machine. It's unbelievable.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This obsession you have with besting Kane at Candy Crush.
They're calling him Candy Crush. It's crazy. You don't have a brother, do you? Losing to him is, well, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Our family reunions are getting really awkward.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. This is going nowhere really fast. Is there anything else you want to discuss before I send you back to the creatures of the night?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to, I don't know how to say this, but I didn't care for that song you made, ADC.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Did I offend you? I didn't want to, hurt anybody's feelings. I'm a big fan, actually. What don't you like about it?
I just don't like that I can't remember saying all that stuff or recording a rap song.
Wait. You know it's a parody song, right? I'm just pretending to be you.
No, I get it.
Right. It's fun, Like I thought it would be funny.
No, I understand. You're doing the voice, and it's real, and it's actually me, and I don't remember recording it, and I'm retired.
But no, stop.
No, but I am, but I'm not, and I will never face John Cena.
Okay.
Except for when I face him at WrestleMania. Never.
What?
April 8th.
Oh, so this is
2035.
Oh god. You will be dead.
I think that's enough. Let's end this.
My album drops this Tuesday, you bish.
There's no album.
Fuck Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Why does he keep calling you a bish?
I don't know.
What
He's got
is
a
a
real
bish?
problem with Roman Reigns still, too. I think he's really had his feelings hurt about that loss last year. But
By the way, Candy Crush, brilliant.
that's what
That
they're
was
calling
good.
it. That's
That
what
was
they're calling
really
it.
good. I love that.
It's making all the Taker family reunions awkward.
That made me pop.
There's some serious sibling rivalry going on there.
So good. Can I just say something real quick about
If you must.
this Kane coming out now? I get the brother angle for sure, but it kind of makes sense as to why Goldust came out a little bit. Maybe John Cena's going through this kind of Legends Row before Taker actually comes out.
Sure.
That's kind of what I've got going on.
A
in my
Legends
head.
Row where they just chokeslam him?
No, Legends Row in the fact that it's like Taker's super old, so let's have Cena, come against a couple of, I guess, the still active super old guys. I don't know. That's just kind of where my mind went with it. Maybe it is as simple as, well, Kane's Taker's brother. I don't know.
All right. Let's move on to a segment we're going to call The Rest of Raw.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. The Rost. That makes no. The Rest of Raw.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
rest
it's
of
gonna
Raw is fine. You had it right.
be. We're going to bring up things. We're going to try to mow through them as quick as possible because, they weren't part of the top three.
Sure.
Alexa Bliss isn't sorry. She loses to Asuka. Are we supposed to believe she hasn't seen Nia backstage all week? I guess so.
They've actually done a really good job of staying off social media together, whereas before, all you would see is them on Instagram and Twitter and all that crap just together. They've actually done a really good job of not posting stuff together.
Keep it kayfabe.
Which is perfect because that's great on kayfabe, even though most of the time we know that their social media isn't kayfabe, but whatever.
Mickey James' hair was on point. I just got to say. Mickey James' hair looked awesome.
She's what, 40 something?
Yeah, maybe. I think she's like 37 or 38. But
Whatever.
Still, she's in good shape.
Just to stay classy. I mean, good for you, Mickey.
Yeah, no, I'm not being a creepo about it. I'm just saying her hair looked really cool.
No, she's the whole thing is great.
The match was kind of slow. Asuka, she's cooled a little bit since the Rumble. I think that the Bliss and Jax story is much more interesting, and I kind of like that Jax didn't really get her hands on little Alexa Bliss.
I like, or at least I would have liked the fact that Asuka, if she was going to challenge Charlotte, then she's just done with Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they had that, you could have that lingering story like, oh, well, she never did beat Alexa, and that's fine. But she, like you said, she's cooled off. Almost don't even care about her on Raw anymore. We just want to get to WrestleMania.
At this point, she can probably mosey on down the road to SmackDown Live.
The story really for 3 weeks has been Nia and Alexa. So it's kind of nice that it's got there. I also agree. I'm glad that Nia didn't get her, and I hope she doesn't get her until WrestleMania. I really hope.
Yeah. Speaking of WrestleMania, Kurt has now officially made the match, so that is, official. Revival, they defeated Titus Worldwide. Didn't really care that much about it, but this was the first mention of the Andre Battle Royal that I remember. So
Yeah, I think it's the first really announcement for the men's to make it official. That
A bunch of these tag
happening.
teams are all just going to kind of be in it.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Gets everybody on the card.
Yep.
Not much to say about that.
Nope.
Banks and Bailey. This is the slowest burn ever.
It should have happened at Elimination Chamber. And that
That should have happened
it.
at like SummerSlam last year.
Well, yeah, yes, for sure.
This has been going on for a long time.
Yeah,
Like, this is
It
barely
just
on
needs
my
to happen.
radar. I
'Cause
literally forget it's happening.
neither
every
one
week.
of them has a match at WrestleMania other than the Women's Battle Royal. That's where they're going.
Yeah.
So is this literally going to burn until the Battle Royal and maybe the two of them are left? And that's...
I guess.
I don't know.
I hope so. I don't know. But it's not going to be a singles match at Mania from what I can tell, unless
be.
they
There's not enough
somehow
room.
really ramp this up in the next week and a half. But that would make sense considering it's been going on for like 3 years.
And there's already like 14 matches announced for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be a 16-hour spectacular
Oh, God.
WrestleMania 34 and 35 and 36 all at once.
well, apparently it's already at 6.5 hours. So
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
yeah.
Well, it's going to be one hell of a party at our buddy Ryan's house, your friend.
man.
He might be listening right now. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
He's got one hell of a setup, I bet. I'm excited.
I'm also excited.
He had speakers in the ceiling last time we went.
Yeah, he's got a new house though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
he
to know.
moved.
Yeah, it'll probably suck. The new place will
Yeah.
suck, I'm sure.
We'll probably have to sit in the hot tub before we watch WrestleMania, but whatever.
Brutal.
I know.
Brutal.
I know.
Brutal.
Anyways, Miz.
Oh yeah, one last thing I was going to say about this this thing. Absolution. I just don't really see where they're involved either, aside from the Women's Battle
Women's
Royal.
Battle
But
Royal.
like this is starting to feel like with Sasha and Bailey versus Absolution. It's starting to feel like a mini version of like Seth and Dean versus The Bar. It's like a
Yeah.
small isolated women's tag division.
Yeah,
And it's just weird. Anyway,
I agree.
Miz promo 6-man tag. Miz calls out Tyler Black and Prince Nevitt.
Yeah.
Ruining his name. I don't need to get your name right.
Yeah.
You're from the Indies.
yeah.
Who cares about Prince Devitt? No one.
Again, Miz nails it. I love the way he brings in real stuff, even from the past that WWE doesn't want you to remember. I love that the Miz does this stuff, and he nailed it again.
This match with the club coming out and stuff kind of felt like a bit of a popcorn break on Raw to me. There's a little roll-up pin action, I think, in it, but
Yeah.
whatever. There were some enjoyable post-match shenanigans,
Yes.
though, with Seth Rollins doing the curb stomp and the
Even the way they stood
Helping
over the
out
Miz's
Finn.
body, like very symbolic there.
yeah. Who do you want to see win the IC title?
Finn Balor.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for Finn.
Well,
There's also rumors of Seth going over to SmackDown, which makes sense.
yeah.
He feels major now, and he could be a big player on SmackDown, especially where they're a little smaller.
Yeah, I would like Finn to win just because it's still weird to me that he, just dropped the title and then has nothing to do with it. But I think the Miz will keep it just because of the streak he's on. They did it with New Day. We thought they would lose, but they let him go over. So I think they'll do the same with Miz, especially just how good he is. He's been he carried SmackDown for a long time as well. So
Yeah. You know what, though? Miz's record is like a cumulative record over amount of time that he's had the belt. So I feel like he
Yeah.
could lose it, and they could sort of push Finn Balor as... he never really had
It's
the
possible.
coronation. Like, I know that he won the Universal title, but there's kind of a stepping stone that he's jumped over.
Yeah.
So maybe give him the IC belt, let him headline some house shows with it on Raw for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just let him be that guy that's carrying some gold for a while. And then he can drop it and move on to bigger things.
I wouldn't be against it. I'd love it.
Plus, you love my Balor bulge.
It would get all the Balor balls.
Oh, my Irish potatoes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really weird. I got to stop. The Finn Dick jokes are just wrong. By the way, Rollins was not wearing the fire pants this week.
He was not.
So
Very disappointed.
Yeah, so I won't play it.
Fire pants! I'm wearing fire pants. These are my fire pants. Do you like my fire pants? Check out my fire pants.
And lastly, the Rousey video package. All I got to say here is more like this, please, for
man.
anyone.
It was
anybody.
fantastic. The only thing I'll say to that is I don't know how they do it for all the fake characters that they've made up. At least everything she talked about was her real life story.
Sure.
So, but it was good.
It was great.
It was so good. And the fact, that she wasn't on Raw, but she appeared right after Raw and got interrupted by Dana
Yeah,
Brooke.
yeah,
And I don't know if you saw it, but all the right things with Rousey, man. All the right things.
It was cool, man.
They're doing
I
a
like
good job
them,
with her.
like them them talking about her losing that match too.
Yeah.
That's something that she really doesn't like to open up that much about. And seeing her get emotional, seeing that she's human. Kurt there as like her, almost like her coach. I mean,
Yeah.
he's her partner, but he's got that like old boxing coach vibe.
Yeah.
Like he feels like Mick to Rocky. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's there. He's like, "You're gonna get her, Rousey. You're gonna do it, Rock."
Yeah, it
And
was good.
I don't know. I liked it a lot.
I like those produced packages, whether it's even
feels
just
real.
a backstory.
It
kind
is
of
real.
It was so good.
But
that
you know,
one was
you
very
said
real.
like with made up characters, they don't have to, shy away from that kind of stuff either. Because, I mean, Roman Reigns is kind of a made up character, but he largely is starting to play a guy like himself. If you just had more packages like that, him with his daughter going into WrestleMania. Remember, I mean, we talk about this so much as kids of the 90s. We talk about it all the time. But the video packages going into WrestleMania 12.
Oh, man.
The
yes.
boyhood dream against the old stalwart from, this championship run that Bret Hart had. It's different. Like Bret's at home. He's just kind of swimming in his pool. He's in the dungeon training. Sean's back in like San Antonio, Texas with Jose Lothario training, just making it feel like a real fight. Like these guys had to go off the grid and train. Like Rousey in the gym just doing judo throws and stuff. Like it was just so good. And if you had, Roman Reigns at home, like I said, with his daughter, hanging out with the Usos on the road and just talking about like, maybe they don't like me, but I'm here. I'm just trying to provide for my family. This means everything to me. And just seeing who these people really are, that works, man.
Yeah, it totally
Do it
does.
more.
I definitely agree with you on this because
Got a little
anything,
tangential there. I apologize.
even though we know it's scripted and it's quote unquote fake in terms of just who the winners and losers are, if you can just add even a little bit of reality to it, it makes people care. It actually like engages people to care about these characters. If they had stuff like that with Roman Reigns, it'd probably be way easier to get him over than to just push him down our throats.
And it would work for heels too.
Absolutely, it would.
Just show. I mean, remember on NXT they used to do stuff like that. I forget what the show was called, but it was like that documentary series on NXT.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But it was like Baron Corbin trying to get over on NXT,
Yeah.
and it just kind of talking about. They sort of kept it half kayfabe, where he's like, I got a phone call, I just showed up, like I was a great football player, whatever. It works. It could work for heels too. Anyway,
Totally agree.
let's move along now to the rest of SmackDown.
Okay.
Not much to cover here,
Nope.
really.
2-hour show.
Rusev
of it
versus
TV.
Nakamura. This feels like probably the ending of this pairing. It's kind of over. I don't know where you go from here with Rusev aside from the Andre battle, like the battle royal. Maybe
He'll
they
be
give
in the
that to a
Battle Royal.
SmackDown guy.
Yeah, him and Aiden will be in the battle royal. He can't just keep losing to these two guys. Like it's just stupid at this point.
It's going to be the Rusev Battle Royal.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to give him the airtime, then do it that way. Like get him to announce that he's going to join the battle royal.
Let's make it the Memorial Rusev Day Battle Royal. The Battle Rusev.
I do think some big news though on the SmackDown side is this apparent injury to AJ Styles. Nobody knows what it is, but they threw the X up almost as a work. Or no, they threw the X up at
that
a
house show when
as
he was
a
with
work
Kevin and
because
Sammy. I full disclosure, I have not really looked that much into this, so
That's fine.
Inform me, Matt.
I don't know
You're
what
the
the
dirt
injury
sheet
is.
sniffer.
It doesn't sound like anyone really knows what the actual injury is, but apparently he is actually injured, and they worked in an injury spot, but with them throwing up the X like he was actually hurt.
Right.
So which turned a lot of people off because you don't like where's the cry wolf here, right? So apparently he's still gonna wrestle at WrestleMania 34.
I was gonna say that just seems like one of those things where he just wrestles injured.
He's going to wrestle injured, but nobody knows what the injury is. And it explains why at the end of that match, they came up with this other story of Nakamura didn't need help the same way that AJ did last week.
Yeah.
The whole thing to me is interesting, and I hope it doesn't affect the quality of the match that we hoped.
I hope so too, but
WrestleMania.
honestly, going into this, our expectations are so high that I really don't feel like that's going to be the best match on the card.
True.
I honestly think that it's going to come short because how could it not?
Yeah.
I don't know. I really kind of enjoy this Nakamura trolling AJ backstage.
In the backstage?
character.
Yes, I
He's
knew
like,
you
no,
would
I
love
know
that."
you get it. I get it. Need a face and all that stuff. And he's just like, okay, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I was
You
totally
should be
gonna
more
say it.
confident. Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah, he's like,
Really
no,
good.
okay, yeah, you got me. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
He just kind of smiles and walks
It was
away.
good.
I thought that was funny.
Yep.
Charlotte and Natty. Stale pairing.
It is.
Good
but
match.
The match was awesome.
It was a good match on
Yeah.
Raw, but I feel like I checked out before it even started because I just didn't care anymore.
Well, there's no story to it, right? She
Yeah.
just shows up backstage and is like, oh, I could beat you. Okay, great.
Carmella fails another cash in. Speaking of trolling.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that she's now failed twice.
It's not that she's losing.
She's not losing.
It's that she just doesn't
Yeah.
know how to time it right.
Yeah.
And she's just like, damn it.
Yeah. I love it. I actually really like it because at least we know that they're finally coming to an end. This is going to come to an end eventually. This losing it and not working might actually show her that, or move to that she will win.
Yeah, I got to feel at some point now like this is going to happen at WrestleMania in some way.
I think so.
I don't think she should actually win it though. I don't know. Not at WrestleMania.
I still want her to be the one that beats Asuka.
She can't beat Asuka.
The rumors are that Asuka is going to carry the undefeated streak up until next year's WrestleMania.
See?
So
there you go.
It can't be that. But
so Carmella can't win the belt. Maybe Carmella just cashes in on like the Raw women's side somehow,
which
at
would be great.
WrestleMania.
Cash in on Nia.
And shows up. What if she is part of the shakeup after WrestleMania before the next Money in the Bank, and they're just like, well, we'll let you honor your briefcase on Raw, and then she somehow wins the Raw women's title from
which would be cool.
Alexa Bliss or Nia Jax. Like, I mean, how's that work? She can't beat Nia Jax.
No.
Nobody can beat Nia Jax.
Yeah.
Jimmy Uso versus Luke Harper. Good match. Harper won pretty convincingly.
Yeah. It wasn't
decent promo before. Nothing super special.
I don't really have anything to say about it, to be honest.
I got some shit to say.
I knew it. I knew it.
Oh, no.
I knew it was
there
coming.
He is.
Luke Harper's literally the best person I know. He's a beautiful human being, and I don't even know that guy. I've never met him before in my life, but he's my best damn friend.
How's that? How is he your best friend? You've never met him in your life.
Because he's a bludgeon brother, and they used their hammers, and he did one hell of a spinning clothesline, and he won a match, and that's the bottom line. Because the Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. Bludgeon Brothers won their match. Luke Harper used his clothesline. Oh, hell yeah, baby.
Was that a BB for Bludgeon Brothers?
You're fucking right, it was.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
man, he loves them, eh?
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
He loves them.
Also, maybe if you could leave my basement, that would be great.
He's been down there for
I'll fucking never leave. I'm going to be here for your life.
I was going to say, he's been down there for like a month and a half at this point.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be here when you have kids.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, crap. They're getting stunnered for sure.
He's never leaving, yeah.
I'll drop them skinny sons of bitches on their neck.
That's not nice at all.
Well, I mean, especially since their necks need to be fully developed.
Yeah. Wow.
That got off the rails a wee bit.
Yep.
Sorry.
Wow. He's sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know where you go from here. The only thing that makes sense is to talk about the U.S. title scene really quickly.
Oh, yeah, because...
This was fine this week. The most heat came from Randy Orton saying, "You suck," to Jinder Mahal. That's it. Let's move along.
I mean, I guess they didn't interrupt the women.
Hey, there you go.
Wait, you know what? When Carmella's music hit, fully expected it to be Jinder.
Yeah. Actually, I think Charlotte interrupted them at the end.
It's possible. It's possible.
At some point on the show, Charlotte just... No, that was early in the show. But Charlotte did just show up before a commercial.
The U.S. title scene is bleh.
Speaking of bleh, the Riot Squad lost again to Becky Lynch and Naomi. Battle Royal bound, I assume. Nothing...
All of them.
Nothing important.
All of them.
Ty Dillinger is alive.
No, he's not.
That's news. He's alive. He's still part of WWE, apparently. I got to apologize to my buddy, Big Sexy Matty Hayes, because he is a very big Ty Dillinger fan, but he has reached legendary jobber status.
Didn't get an intro, jobbed out.
Ty Dillinger looked like the greatest of the local talent ever assembled for a shooting of WWE superstars. He was just the guy with a tent on his butt that had a side-shaved haircut.
And I'm sorry, you're not going to get on the main card if you can't take a finisher. What the hell was that?
I don't know whose fault that was.
I don't
they
know
definitely
either.
botched that end of days. And then Baron's just like, go outside and then come back in and then I'll just do it there. Well, like, why not just do it again?
Yeah, I don't know. It
was a cool idea. Like, he was trying to catch him off the ropes or whatever and then swing right into it. But then Ty, he fell out of it. And then
I almost wonder if Ty thought he was supposed to fall out of it, like they had more time or something. Because his
I think
his
they just
feet went
botched
down.
it. I don't know.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. I'm gonna blame Baron on that one. Maybe Baron just couldn't support him. Maybe his core's not strong enough. It's almost like he's got like a droopy belly face for a core.
I feel like we've heard that before.
Maybe.
I even covered up my belly My belly had a
All right. I think it's time for just 2 tweets,
Sweet.
"Hey yo."
Good timing.
I swear I'll have a music drop ready for that next week. So that,
we should get some music for some of these segments.
Let's make it so that it takes even longer to edit the show together every week, so that I can't just drop it in and let's.
I'm not doing it.
Why don't I devote my entire life to this show and videos and stuff? And oh god. Speaking of Matty Hayes, the first tweet I'm gonna go with. He brought up to me in person, and I'm glad that he reminded me and tweeted this time last night. He says, "What's your favorite underrated theme music of all time? I've always loved Legend Killer by Randy Orton." I really like that one too. The "Hey, nothing you can say." I really like that song. My answer would be,
oh man,
I've always loved the Matt Hardy version 1 theme song. Back when he was doing like the internet gimmick, back in like the mid 2000s, and it just kicked in with those like the guitar and the drums. It's like, whoa, yeah. Anyway, I like that song a lot.
I can't think of one.
You can't. Come on.
Underrated? I mean, I've got like
Under the Radar, something old. Here's another great one. The Christian theme. When he first separated from Edge.
That's what I was thinking.
Basically, the very first Queen theme. Imagine Christian and Bobby Roode together as a tag team now.
But so that's where I was going. But to me, that I don't know. Maybe it's because I actually loved it. But
Christian.
I didn't think it was underrated. But
I don't think that many people loved it. I don't know.
I don't know.
It didn't last long.
I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a good question. I wish I had seen it earlier so I could have thought about it. I've only got like 40 years of intros to think about, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. So that's it?
Stupid question.
That's all you got? No. I would say the Vanguard, the V1 Matt Hardy stuff I loved, and I really like that Christian theme.
Yeah, the Christian one was
like a million other
good.
ones that were really good.
There's so many ones that were just fantastic that I don't even know if they were underrated, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know what? Actually, one that was super underrated that I really liked. I can't remember who it was, but it had that glass breaking at the beginning. I really liked that one. That was one of my favorites. I don't really remember who it was.
That's my damn theme music, you piece of trash. You stupid son of a bitch. That's Stone Cold Steve Austin's music, and I beg you not to talk about it, you son of a bitch.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
That's
you brought that on yourself.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
Speaking of.
Hey, good segue.
Hey, Pete at Peteopolis says, I need Basement Steve to tell me where Bray Wyatt went. Bray did bring us the Bludgeon Brothers. Least we can do is a wellness check on Bray. Steve?
Bray Wyatt went back to the beautiful slice of land they call the Hardy compound. I mean the Wyatt compound. Shit, I'm 3 beers in. Goddamn. He's hanging out there with Jimmy Buffett, wasted away again in Wyatt Compoundville.
Steve, you know, like it's time to start hiding the beers at this point. Yeah, it really is.
I think he's had a few margaritas himself.
Yeah.
I fucking love margaritas. Margaritas. Margaritas.
I wonder how many times he's been there.
Sorry, shit. You got some ice?
Steve, get out of here.
Sorry.
Yeah. I wonder if he's ever, like, you know, real life been to Margaritaville. You think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, Steve's been to Margaritaville.
Hard-nosed Steve Austin.
Steve Austin likes
Hunter.
mixed drinks. There's actually a YouTube video that has like millions of hits, and it's Steve Austin tries cocktails.
Oh, God. I haven't seen it.
He's just like, well, shit, this one has a lot of damn sugar. I'll tell you that much. Goddamn. A lot of fucking carbohydrates in this shit.
I'm going to look that up.
Feels like that needs a pinch of salt around the rim or some shit.
I'm actually paraphrasing. I have no idea what he says.
Oh, okay.
That's what it's like.
He's just like, no, that's pretty damn good, I guess.
You had me.
I think it's actually a lot like that.
I'm going to look it up and check.
Well, here we are. We're around an hour. Let's end the show.
Yeah.
Let's end it.
I'm good with that.
Let's end this.
Yeah.
Let's put people out of their misery.
Okay.
And including all the recording errors and issues we had, I really want to just get this out there and have it out of my life.
Yeah, we had some technical issues there through the recording. Hopefully you guys
had
don't
some
hear
vocal
it,
issues. It
yeah.
sounded like.
Well, I mean, you know what? I still work at Taco Bell and I'm 12, so.
This comes out of my salary.
Yeah. Anyways.
What's your twit shit stuff?
Oh, my tweeter?
Yeah.
My tweeter, you can hit me at Matt the Markiest.
Yeah, hit him in the tweeter.
Hit me in the tweeter. MARKIEST. We didn't quite get to 15, but I think it was around 9 or 10. So I'll take it. You know what? On average, I'll take it.
All right. Tweet the show at ADCs of Wrestling. If you want to send your tweets in for next week's Just 2 Tweets. Anytime, that's fine. Use the hashtag Just 2 Tweets with a 2, number 2. That'd be great. Follow me at Andrew David Cox on Twitter and Instagram and youtube.com/Andrew David Cox for, all your song parodies and fun little clips. And if you're listening on YouTube, why don't you send me a tweet or post in the comments below letting me know that you enjoy the show and that's how you get it. That you're watching on YouTube, listening on YouTube, whatever. That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next week. Ball game.
Peace.
Fuck.
Wait, do you have to poop?
Nope.
Firing! Rattlesnake salvo!
Oh, hell yeah!
Initiate JBL protocol! Synchronize chrono stamps to Rusev Day!
Happy Rusev Day!
Yeah! Let's go!
ADCs of Wrestling! Yeah!